So what else have you discovered in the, I guess, the texture of what emerges? Because I think it's so spot on, right? You look at nature.
Mhm.
Nature is emergence. From the growth of a redwood tree to the blossoming of a flower,
Right.
as long as it gets what it needs and it's in the right environment, it naturally grows into its full potential.
Right.
It's encoded within all of us.
Right.
And so, yeah, what do you think about that process?
Well, I think biomimicry is great,
Hmm.
because we look at nature and we see, as you just indicated, when everything is in the right condition, then the potential emerges. Now, the difference between us and a tree is that we have to consciously participate in that emergence. A tree, you just put it in the right condition, leave it alone. It has water, it has sunshine, it has all it needs. There's no in it. There's no maybe, oh, I want to be a daffodil. It just,
Right, we have more agency to go in the opposite direction.
Absolutely. And that's why we're the image and likeness of God, because we have that kind of agency. So the inner work that we do is to participate in that activation of potential. I like to say we're not anticipants. We are participating in an energetic flow. What does that mean? Ralph Waldo Emerson had a word called endogenous, which means that, indigenous means that certain things grow in a particular environment. Palm tree's not going to grow in snow. It's indigenous to warm weather. There's exogenous, that which is outside of us. Endogenous means we create our own environment. We become the ripe condition. So if we're participating with our own visioning process, our own meditation, our own high intention, et cetera, we become a condition for the emergence of our potential. And it doesn't matter about the external conditions of the world. The economy can be up or down. Stocks can be up or down. Presidents can be in or out. That's not our condition. We create our own condition. And then that seed of divinity within us starts to emerge because we are the condition. Now, many people will look to the world and say, oh, this is a bad time for X, Y, and Z. So they're living from an exogenous point of view. That is determining my destiny. But when we go within, we create our own condition. Potential is activated. There's many people being healthy and successful in all the stuff that's going on in the world, being happy. Doesn't mean you deny what's happening, but you still create your own condition. So I always try to offer people an understanding that you get to create your own condition. Not what's on the news, not what's in your social media, but you. And when the condition is right, emergence happens. When you have a right state, then the next stage emerges. If you don't have the state, you don't have the next stage. So the state has to be normalized. So you have to, obviously people go up and down. Some days are better than others. But if you have a level of practice, you have that state most of the time. And then there's a natural stage that unfolds for that individual. People have more power than they can even imagine. They could just see themselves.
Man, no, it's great. I was just writing this piece the other day about the link between humility and intelligence.
Yes.
And it's a lot of what you're speaking to here. We can look at it, in the kind of grosser, dense example of somebody who uses drugs, who, is exogenously seeking for these state changes, right? Failing to recognize we have our own endocannabinoids, right? And these endogenous chemical factory within us that allows the capacity for all of these state experiences naturally. And so making space for that condition, like you spoke to, for our natural emergence is a just really liberating perspective. And it kind of takes the pressure off of us because it's less of like us. Of course, there will be activity, but it's less us forcing to do something. And it's allowing and accepting something to emerge from within us, which feels way more effortless.
Absolutely. It's a difference between in what I call stage 2, when you're learning how to manifest, making something happen with your mind, to going to making something welcome. When you make something welcome, that's more feminine, it's more allowing, it's more letting. And that's what happens when you become the right condition. You're making something welcome because it already exists. Peace, love, joy, wisdom, harmony, abundance. You don't make that stuff. You don't make those qualities. Those qualities already exist. You're making them welcome to be the activity of your awareness. When you're trying to make something happen, oftentimes the energy of trying to make something happen is, I don't have it, so I'm going to make it happen. And that's a stage of development. It's not a bad stage. It's just a stage. But again, you run the risk of, one, becoming addicted to manifesting, and two, you run the risk of, even when you get it, you're still not happy. You still think something's missing. But when it starts to be activated through allowance, it's a part of your being. This is who I am. I'm not trying to get abundance. I am abundance. I'm not trying to get joy. I am joy. You see, it's a whole different identification that begins to be activated.